Nope. You know what? So, how's this game? I am, so I can turn it up. Yep. Yep, sure. I think. So yeah, just got the other commentator Emily to put put the headset on. Yeah, I've got a co-commentator, but I can control them. I can see individually. That's what should be. Yeah. I got it. I just it was actually good story. I was a very helpful person. It's very flexible. This if you I explained what we were trying to do. It's like, anyway, this is what you do. You go home and download this. No, it's like it's a kid. Um. Also, is there a 2 minute delay? Emily, can you say something, please, just so we can check your levels as well? Yeah, things are just talking to the mic there, because there's really sound check. Yep. So tell us in 2 minutes. Oh, yeah, so that's about 2 minutes. Thank you, please. Well, yeah, well, so, yeah. Oh yeah, I got lots of room to move on. So, actually, yeah, I can. When I started with Emily's at the time, because I just assumed, in my unraveled shoes. So, yeah. So I don't know. Yes, pretty much. So I've moved mine up now. So really high. And so. Oh, I mean, so you'll be just some silly question. You'll be monitoring this for the whole thing. Okay, Emily, could you keep talking? Yeah, just keep talking, please. Just on one bit of sound check. Just tell us why you're excited to be here.
Say Tom.
Yeah. Oh, why you're excited to be here. Yeah. So, yeah. Say where you're. Yeah. Like a brief. Jen, you're doing a brief, very basic intake. Yeah. Yeah. It's too big delay. God, that's a long. I've
Yeah, well, it's the same.
just checking. Just looking at time. Oh, you reckon I can? I mean, I reckon then. That's good. Yep, yeah, so next end with the boss. What do you get? Yeah, should become a screw soon. Like in next year. Yeah, it's going through USB interface with the same thing. You've got the internet. It's from that one. Okay, that's that's what it is. Emily, can you hear me through the headphones? Oh, that's okay. Yes. Oh, can you keep talking? Oh, there's this. Oh, it's fun. It's fun.
I can hear you now.
Yeah. First I'll use it into this and just press the button. Just sit right next to it. So, yeah, keep talking to this. Okay, might as well. Actually, now I suspect based my class is to turn out it's good. But you can tell us in 2 minutes. Yeah, yeah, but I think I've cracked it. But yeah, I'll just tell you the truth. Oh no, for me, it's Ma. So, rules, we can just call him Marty, and he does us. He sounds like teeth polish. Yes, yes. Actually, the board. Yeah. Okay. Don't worry about the middle one. I'll let semis on. Tamsin? Yes, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Tamsin. No problem. I said, and I'm good. I was good the whole time. I might. Okay, so like max it there. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No problem. But I've got us all on max. So okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just happy because my mum says I look at my phone too much. So I suppose if you text me, I will see. Yeah, yeah, okay. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't spell out here. Sorry, I didn't catch your name. What was your name? Colin. Oh yeah, yeah. Thanks, Colin. Thanks so much. Cheers. Bye. So we'll just what do we get? James and Milo. A little slow. Erin Taveras. Maddie Hiro. Sorry, football firm Maddie Hiro. Jessica Barrett. Oh, Gracie Jones. Rose Jones. Nicola Simmons. Victoria Martin. And Greg Post. Darius. Solid Murder. Lee Burns. And Ashley Brooks. Ashley Brooks. Charlotte. Sure. Seems what was true. Alan Tassis. This is 2023s. So Marty Garces. Assisted by Rose. Jim Ball. That's officially. So Patricia Phillips. Jim Curtis. Final Williams. That's really that's it. Video. Just in case of live, I'm just going to go say it now. Claudia Valletta, Chelsea Harper. Oh, like 16s at Manly the first one. Anyway, Chelsea Harper, Daniela Naimi, Jasmine Melly, Olivia Vanderland. Oh, there you're right. Oh, you got your players started. Yes. Olivia Vanderland, Ashley Henneberry, Ardon Surjan, Nicole Simonson, Ashley Hughes, Sienna Hawkins, Sophia Faria, Asha Franklin, Zoe Noakes, Laura Eric Yellow. We might be like, I'm good. I got this. Switch it around, but we've walked into a water there, so I mean, interesting to experiment with this. Yeah, because that is football structures. Everything at the state fed headquarters uses an air camera, so better work. See, everything's costly. We picked the green button. Green like the back.
Okay. How's my... Oh good, I think we're okay. I think I survived.
I'm good.
How's that? Actually, sorry. I forgot. This is awkward. There's no non-awkward way to do this. That's
so awkward.
Hang on. Yeah, that's just gonna.
Hello.
I was wondering if I could get it closer. Sorry, can you talk for a bit?
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah,
Hello.
that's good.
Okay, I think that's better.
I think I've got to be quieter because you.
Or I just need to speak up. One or the other. Okay. I'll put this here.
Well, good afternoon, NPL Women's New South Wales fans. Thanks for joining us here on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. It is the match of the round for the opening weekend of the 2026 season, and we've got a great matchup here for you at Football New South Wales headquarters, Valentine Sports Park. It is last season's League One Women's treble winners, Hills United, about to make their debut, their first ever appearance in NPL Women's New South Wales after promotion last season, and they are taking on a very tough opponent, last year's double winners, Bulls FC Academy. This is Eric Subihano with the commentary from Valentine Sports Park, and I'm delighted to say that I've got a second commentator with me today making her debut as a commentator in NPL Women's New South Wales. By the way, Emily Arnold, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's very exciting here. My first match. We have a very exciting match up here, as you've said. Two reigning champs against each other.
Yeah.
And we're underway here.
And thanks so much. And we'll go through the lineups go through the full lineups as when there's an appropriate break in play. But for those of you less familiar, perhaps with the uniforms of these two teams, our hosts Hills United in their usual yellow jerseys, or predominantly yellow jerseys with the navy shorts, while it's Bulls FC in the all black strip. So let's go through the lineups. Let's start with Hills United. In goal is number 20, Maddie Iro. They're captained by number 3, Aisling Davidson. Number 4 is Charlotte Hogan. Number 10, Bianca Galliini. Number 11, Natalie Kasha. Number 14, Erin Semazar. Number 15, Tamsin Buchanan. Number 17, Olivia Sloan. Number 18, Erin Tavares. And number 25, Jessica Garrett, and rounded out by number 39, Grace Johns. And in fact, it's Garrett passing to the Hill skipper, Aisling Davidson. Davidson, by the way, voted by the Football New South Wales as player of the match in last year's League One Women's Grand Final, where Hills United defeated SD Raiders by a 0 on this very patch of synthetic turf. Now, it's going to be an early throw-in, and I will go for the Bulls FC Academy lineup. I do see Claudia Valletta, a goal scorer in last year's Grand Final, NPL Grand Final, by the way, where Bulls defeated RPF 4-3, about to take this throw-in. And it's Tamsin Buchanan, and then the ball goes, I think, off Vanderlaan. Bulls keeping it, and this player of the field. Got to bring you in at the moment, Emily, because you've been a big fan of mine, a big fan of Olivia Vanderlaan's, and that we will have a talk about the player making her Bulls debut later. But firstly, that's a foul, and I think by Anna Hogarth-Scott, that's probably the chance, or the opportunity to bring in and introduce the Bulls lineup. So in goal for them, number 61, Nicole Simonson. The rest of them are number 2, Patria Phillips. Number 4, Gemma Ferris. Number 6, Anna Hogarth-Scott, as that goes through to Simonson. Number 8, Claudia Valletta. Number 9, Chelsea Harper. Number 11, Daniela Naimi. Number 12, Jasmine Melly. Apologies, I've just lost my lineup. Number 13, Olivia Vanderlaan. Number 14, Ashley Henneberry. Number 17, Arden Surjan rounds out the Bulls starting 11, and we'll go through the two benches, I think, a bit later on. But as it's Patria Phillips finding herself in central midfield, already an overlapping run from Valletta, and we'll go back for the free kick. But first, while we have this stoppage in play, the move of Olivia Vanderlaan from Wanderers Academy to Bulls FC really caught both of our eyes, Emily, because we both think she did quite well in the red and black last season.
Yeah, for those unaware of her, she is the striker for Bulls. Obviously, you will be able to pick her out on the pitch wearing 2 different colour boots, always a bright pink and bright yellow, as it's just passed out to Valletta here.
Yeah. And Phillips with the cross in, and it's played behind by Sloan. But yes, go on, Emily.
Yeah, Olivia Vanderlaan is an amazing striker. She is known for getting those goals, and I think it's an amazing signing for Bulls here. I think we'll also see her on this corner here. She is a taller figure in this Bulls side.
Actually, I think the first time I ever saw her play was like really twisting the neck muscles to score a headed goal, but we'll get back to that as the Bulls go short with the corner. And Hogarth-Scott gets back to her feet quickly, but Sloan is there to block the cross. That'll lead to the second corner for Bulls in quick succession. And actually, the standard Valentine Sports Park experience. The ball's gone into the bushes, and actually we will have to wait for a second ball to be retrieved, and that'll allow Hills to set up their defence for this set piece. And Maddie Iro, we might as well brief congratulations to her. It was only 3 days ago she was in the Solomon Islands, making her debut for New Zealand's national team, the Football Ferns. And for New Zealand, congratulations to them, through to the next round of World Cup qualifying Oceania. As this will be played into the middle, and not really clear. There's a shot, which is up, and it is over. So, Emily, while that's being retrieved, tell us what do you, apart from Olivia Vanderlaan, who's really catching your eye in terms of these two teams?
I think these two teams, especially Hills United coming up, they're obviously coming up from the league below, but they've made some amazing signings. Obviously, two that had caught my eye for them. We'll just stop for a second.
Oh, and that's actually good. Good anticipation there because Aisling Davidson across, covering I think against Phillips to win the ball cleanly, leading to a ball's throw. But yes, you talk about Hill signings. Alan Tassis has scouted well from NPL. We'll get onto that a bit later as it's Bulls with all the early initiative. 5.5 minutes played here at Valentine Sports Park. 0-0 between Hills United and Bulls FC Academy in our match around. As that's a strong tackle. And then the touch leading possibly to Tavares, and then that's Semizar will chase, but that should be Simonson's. And by the way, speaking of great signings and surprise moves, the word was, as this ball should run through to Iro, the word was that Nicole Simonson retired from playing after the end of last season with Manly. Well, she very quickly unretired and has decided to make the short trip from Cromer Park to Northbridge Oval, metaphorically speaking for today at least, to be in goal for Bulls FC Academy. I'm sure Bulls coach Marty Garces will be delighted to have a player of Simonson's experience in goal, as this will be played back. And Galliini all the way back to Iro and across to Davidson. Of course, there have been some interesting results. There were two NPL Women's New South Wales games yesterday, both in actually two grounds about 15 minutes apart. Northern Tigers defeated Gladesville Ravens by 1-0, and at the venue we lovingly call the Arctic Circle, a venue you're very familiar with, Emily.
Yes.
It was a score of Spirit FC 1, Sydney Olympics 6, as that might run over Johns. And it's Valletta again making an attacking run from left back. The cross comes in, and Iro claims confidently. You can see why she is now a capped international player. But yes, go on.
Matches this weekend, we did have Sydney Olympic coming out very strong and dominating against Spirit there. This match so far seems to be a lot more even. The Bulls are playing well, but Hills United are standing up for themselves. They're not backing down in their opening match of the season.
Yes, and if actually as well, that was
kept
in, and now laid off. It's going to be an early shot, and for the first chance for the home side in this game, I think that was Tavares running on. And actually Tavares, one of those new signings who I still think of her as a Spirit player, but she was last season at Mount Druitt.
She does come from Rangers, a team that was obviously brought up last season, so she knows what she has to do in this team to bring results. Yep,
and actually I did call them Mount Druitt. I knew I was going to do that. They, of course, did change their name to Western City Rangers. I think, to be safe, I'm just going to refer to that club as the Rangers to avoid any further errors. But, it's round one. Women's football, sometimes you see a surname change due to marriage, which I've made that mistake in the past as well. So, yes, it's certainly nothing new, but those are the round one challenges as that runs out of Chelsea Harper. By the way, congratulations to you, Chelsea Harper. I mean, it's not that long. She made her debut for the Junior Matildas, Australia's under-17 team, in a couple of two-match series against Thailand the back end of last year, as Garrett is across, getting to the ball ahead of Phillips. It's 0-0 here at Valentine Sports Park. About 8.5 minutes played here, 0-0 between Hills United and Bulls FC Academy. Now, throwing there from Valletta, and Tavares back, and then Buchanan playing it forward, but it is anticipated well by Gemma Ferris. And Gemma Ferris, actually, like Vanderlaan, her teammate, another former Wanderer, of course, with plenty of A-League experience. As now, I don't know if our mics can pick that up. There's actually girls' youth league games on Valentine Sports Park Field 3. So if you're wondering what that whistle was for, that's what it was for. Now, good tackle, and Hills would be on the move via Ilan Semizar. Kasha now. And Hogarth Scott takes a tumble, but has probably also broken it up. And Valletta, well, we saw her overlapping work in an attacking sense early on, but she's making the recovery runs as well. Now that's across to Jasmine Melly. I think that's Naimi on the far side. I think this is probably the one time when I apologize for whatever misidentifications I make on the far side of the field. But yes, It certainly is exciting to be back. Also, it was good. And if you're the kind of person who likes scrolling through our socials, because we thank you for your support of the NPL New South Wales official social media channels. But as Ferris aims for Harper, and that will skip away, it was actually, we got to thank actually for a fellow member of the Football New South Wales media team, Iko Ehode Aramoto, who's on the Football New South Wales, the NPL New South Wales Instagram, got to make that, for today's match of the round, and has been doing some great work with a couple of videos, especially in these challenging rainy conditions. And actually a good interview with you, Emily, as well.
Yeah, I think talking about those rainy conditions, it was raining earlier in the day and all throughout the under-23s game. It has cleared up here, but I think we still do have that wet pitch, and the ball is going to move very quickly, so it's going to be very integral to how both teams play.
I think that's a very good point, and of course this pitch, as I revealed myself to be a synthetic pitch nerd, recently relayed. It was back end of 2023, so let's call it about 2.5 years old, and yeah, certainly the synthetic fields run quick, especially when they're new, as it might open up Herguff Scott with a shot, and it's bending and dipping, but it was pretty straightforward for Maddie Iro in the Hills United goal. So actually, got to be complete with my Football New South Wales media shout-outs. Speaking of braving the rain, like our friend Joseph Bidengun, the photographer, he's more grateful than pretty much anyone that it has stopped raining, as Davidson takes it on the torso and tries to find Buchanan. That's forward. And then Harper's got round the back here, and, well, no, she did get round Grace Johns, but the ball had gone out of play first. So now, Grace Johns, and newer fans to this competition, I mean, she's not a new player, she's a returning player. I'm not sure exactly how long she's spent away from the state leagues, but we'll get back to that thought as Harper continues that interesting battle that she's had early on with Davidson. Davidson wins that one as there's a little bit of a loose pass for the home side, and we're into the 13th minute, 0-0 here between Hills and Bulls. But Grace Johns, I think her last year with Football New South Wales Institute was 2018, and she spent some time away from the game, returned last season with Sutherland. And Grace Johns, it is good to see someone who was a teammate at Institute with, among others, Cara Cooney-Cross, Courtney Nevin, Rachel Lowe, Susan Fong-Song-Kam, Mindy Barbieri. Someone of that level of talent is adding so much to our top women's division in New South Wales once again.
Yeah, it's extremely good to see her back. I mean, playing in a team with those players obviously just speaks to the amount of skill and effort she has, so it will be very interesting to see her get back into it today. Yes,
now Valletta wins the throw-in off her opponent, off Johns actually, and Phillips. Yes. Now, well, the rain, I'm sorry, Joseph, I've absolutely commentators cursed this, because the rain has strengthened once again as Garrett is across, played back to the keeper Iro. Under pressure, Vanderlaan providing the pressure for Bulls. Ira kicks it out of play. And also, thank you, Emily, for the tip. I'd forgotten about Vanderlaan's different colour boots. Now I'm shocked that I forgot about something as striking as that.
Yes, as you can say, each player has their own thing. Very, very easy to spot her out on the pitch there.
Yes. Iro, again, as Vanderlaan presses. Iro aiming for the near side. Johns has to hurry, but is not quick enough to retrieve that ball.
Another throw-in from Valletta here. They really seem to be sticking to this left side extend. Valletta's got a lot of throw-ins.
Yes, she has. And Valletta, by the way, stretching the memory, possibly a former Institute teammate of Grace Johns many, many years ago. And as Kasha battles for it, Johns. And Valletta, actually, the way she blocked that was like when a keeper blocks a shot. That was actually quite impressive agility from Valletta as Harper battles away. She's got a few touches early. And now Johns, ball forward, Tavares. And Tavares loses out. And now it opens up for Harper near side. So this could be interesting. Vanderlaan wants the ball early, but Harper will advance then. Play it to Vanderlaan. The cross comes in from the left. There we go. And Garrett blocks it off as I was just mildly amused by one of the more optimistic handball shouts I've ever seen. It's Garrett, arms by her sides, definitely off the torso, that one. I suppose the tell there was that none of the Bulls players around Jessie Garrett appealed for the penalty. We go on.
You gotta love when the crowd gets into it,
Yes.
calling for that call.
Yes. Especially, so we've got a rather basic setup here, and to go back to that as it's Naimi running against Sloan. And Sloan might get round, Sloan might get round on the cover. And that's going to be, I reckon, the third corner for Bulls in the opening quarter of an hour or thereabouts. 0-0 between Hills United and Bulls FC Academy. You've got last year's treble winners in League One Men's Premiership, Grand Final, Club Championship up against last year's double winners in NPL Women's New South Wales. I knew I'd do that. But Bulls winning the Premiership and a dramatic Grand Final in extra time last year for the women's top division. And actually, interesting note, our cameras won't pick this up, but there's some few, shall we say, rather well-known former Bulls players in the crowd. I've spotted that's 2 now at least as the corner comes in to the near post. Don't worry about that whistle. And it's headed away, and Semazar trying to release teammate. Tavares was never getting on the end of that.
Yeah, just as you were saying, we do have some
illustrious spectators. Is that the best way to?
Yeah, former Bulls. I think
Yep.
for anyone that
Actually,
watches the A-Leagues, Central Coast Mariners have taken quite a few integral. We'll stop here for a second.
As a shot comes in. Good block by Johns. Attempted shot from Naimi. Spins away. Bulls corner number 4. But I suppose to complete that thought, Emily, I mean, none other than last year's Bulls FC Academy captain and the scorer of the winning goal in the grand final, Elizabeth Barwick-Gray, who's rather kindly taken time out from Central Coast Mariners duties to travel over to Valentine Sports Park.
Yeah, I think you do have a few notable absences from that squad last season. Most of them do happen to have gone to the Central Coast Mariners this season.
Yes.
I've got Liz Gray, as you said, Isabella Coco DeCipio.
Yes.
Um,
Vani Prakash. That was.
All playing for Central Coast as this corner comes in here.
It's one at the near post by Bulls, and then Ferris trying to head it and cause some chaos, but it's Hills United standing firm as we're in the 18th minute here. And then Galliani with the defending. And Bulls really taking a lot of the early initiative, but it is still 0-0 as... Oh, I've got something. I reckon... Okay, so there's my inside... There's some inside information from being around Hills United and covering Hills United in League One Women's. I think I've just seen something off camera. So one of the substitutes, Zoe Murdoch, has just arrived from her cricket duties. So she's yet another footballer who also plays high-level cricket. I'll expand on that as firstly, Vandalen, good touch. Second touch is great, almost perfect for Bulls. And there we go. I mean, she didn't score, Emily, but how about that centre-forward play from Olivia Vandalen?
I think, that's just a little sight into what Bulls are going to get from her this season, as we got just wide of the post there, but she's got the power and she's got the aim, and I think we'll see many more shots from her this afternoon. Now
Iro towards Galliani, and that is a foul called against Jasmine Melly. So, just to expand that thought, Zoe Murdoch, I did actually get the tip from Alan Tassis at some point during my League One Women's media travels last year. Zoe Murdoch, quite a decent cricketer for the Parramatta Cricket Club. And there we go. It's like, so it's not just Willa Pearson, Emily. It's not just Willa Pearson, not just Annabelle Kroll either. There's a lot of women's football.
There are quite a few notable cricket players as well that are on the pitches.
Yes, I mean, of course. So it's good to see people trying to follow in the footsteps of Elise Perry, who I think would be the most notable women footballer and cricketer. As Bulls play out from the press, do it successfully. Phillips has the pass intercepted by Johns, and Johns, nice fake. Johns going direct, but I think Semazar had come short and the ball has gone too long. Now, again, another whistle. It's actually, I mean, it's familiar to us. It's like being at Spirit's home ground where the two fields are next to each other. And Spirit, as was the case for Spirit Olympic in the women's yesterday. It had to pay attention to which particular whistle was for which field, because there was, I think can call that local Northwest Sydney football community games behind us as we were watching. As it's Hills on the move down the left-hand side with Galliini. And Galliini one-on-one with Nelly. Back to Hogan, but Phillips is sharp and gets there first. Phillips, little scoop pass. And now, this could be promising for Bulls. Chelsea Harper has switched flanks. She's now on the Bulls' right-hand side through to Vanderlaan. Vanderlaan as the cross possibly sting taken out of it by Davidson. Bulls still have the ball. I think that was Ferris. And now, that's unfortunate for Phillips, slipping at the wrong moment, but such are the challenges of wet conditions. And a little slip helps Hills out as it's Hogan. A touch off by Semazar, but she's surrounded by players. And I think that was a never, despite the contact, shall we say, that was never going to be a free kick. And we'll go on as we're now in the 21st minute. Still goalless between Hills United and Bulls FC Academy. Eric Subihano on the mic with Emily Arnold. Hope you're enjoying the first NPL Women's New South Wales match of the round for 2020. Great stuff from Naimi. Round the defender, cutting aside, trying to find a teammate, and Galliini gets the foot in there. Now it's Sloan. And Sloan, there's a bit of a battle on here, but has kept the ball well. Sloan, and Buchanan has given up the chase fairly early there. Oh, speaking of Mariners, that's of course no surprise to see. While we talk about Mariners, Central Coast Mariners A-League players who are in the crowd, no surprise that Tamsin's sister, Kaya Buchanan, is in attendance. And for that matter, so is the other Buchanan, Ella, of the Wanderers.
Definitely a big football
Yes.
family there. We have another Buchanan in the league.
Yeah. As Iro, and off Galliini, and Kasha just settles it. Davidson now. Hills United captain looks up, puts the backspin on that. Will it help Semazar? It will not. And the ball is out of play. Now, actually, maybe it's Valletta just retrieving a second ball. Perhaps time to go through the two benches. And firstly, I'll sneak in the Hills bench. So Nicola Simmons is the backup keeper. The other players that head coach Alan Tassis might bring on later: Victoria Martin, Brooke Hasty, Ellen Berrios, Zoe Murdoch, Neve Burns, and Libby Morris. As that's passed back to Simonson in the Bulls goal. A touch for the Bulls shot stopper. The Bulls bench, the backup keeper is Ashley Hughes. There's also Sienna Hawkins, Sophia Faria, Asha Franklin, Zoe Noakes, and Laura Erikiello.
Yeah, they've got some good players on the bench here for their coaches to call on later in the game. Still only in the 22nd minute right now, still 0-0.
Yes.
And we'll leave it up to the players on the park. Just passing through the midfield, the Bulls here.
Yes, and that's a good ball from Hogarth Scott. So Harper is going to sprint, and a low cross. Ira can't reach it, and it's tapped in at the far post. And it's an early goal for Claudia Valletta. Again, she scored in Bulls' last competitive game, last year's grand final. And Valletta on the mark here. Brilliant run to the far post, set up by Chelsea Harper. And it's Hills 0, Bulls 1.
Yeah, I think that's just what you get from the Bulls. Obviously, as we know, they are the reigning champions, and it wasn't long before they got a goal. I think we saw it was coming. They definitely have that shooting power, and Hills just haven't been able to stop them there.
Yes, there we go. last year. As
we can see, the Bulls are just going to pass it around the back here. They're just going to take some time to reset, wait for a pass to open up.
yes,
But it's just been won back there by Hill.
yes, and now that's Davidson booming that one, and great header from that spectator, clean as a whistle. He stepped up from the front row and just headed that straight back onto the field.
Yeah, crowd getting involved there. Nice header back into the field for them.
As Garrett with another clearance. I don't think this will go near any spectators, but that is kind of uncomfortably close to that VO camera. And as there's a spectator waiting to throw it back, well, when you throw it back, please put some backspin on it so that it doesn't end up on the field. But we've gone with another football, and here's Hills winning it back with Buchanan. It's going to be over Henneberry, but that'll be safe from a Bulls perspective. And now Ferris on the ball. So Johns to restart with this throw-in. It's up, and Buchanan centrally. Tavares. Now Kasha.
Yeah, they've just had some room open up in the midfield there, and they're able to bring it up.
As
Phillips has just intercepted it there, unfortunately. Not their passes connecting. She's going to have the whole field here, though. Not a lot of Hills players pressuring her.
Yeah.
Out to Olivia Vanderland here.
6 forward, 4 Bulls. Vanderland goes direct, and it might be open for Naimi. And I dare say, if that was the other way around, it might have been a bit more dangerous for Hills. Decent enough attempt from Naimi making the late run to the far post, but it's out for a goal kick, and Hills now, of course, the scoreboard against them, trailing 1-0 as they are to that goal from Claudia Valletta. And now Hills, well, they couldn't get to midfield. Naimi. And that will only find Sloan. Sloan sending it towards midfield. Semazar just about kept, no, not quite. Couldn't get the second touch before it just snuck over the sideline.
The Bulls are just gonna take it slow here, just letting them reset. I think they do have most of the momentum here. They're controlling the game, and they have that time to slow it down.
Yes, as such is what you'd expect from a team who is defending the 2 trophies they won last year. Now Hills on the left-hand side. Gallieni up against Melli. And Gallieni, I think, might be waiting for support. Not much room to work with. Does well to keep the ball.
Yeah, she just didn't have much help up there, and the Bulls have been able to win that back. But it's going to be a throw-in for Hills here with Salone taking it.
Yes. Now, I think we do apologise, and actually thank you to... Actually, hold that thought as Hills might get into the left side of the box. Semazar hits the synthetic turf, and the ref with immediate signal to tell everyone that will not be a penalty. So we do apologise. Apparently, thanks to a friend of Football New South Wales coverage, Megan, who's just letting me know the sound apparently was out for a couple of minutes. So we do apologise. But just to confirm, of course, the joys of YouTube streaming. Just if you're watching, just click back on the stream to see what you missed. But the most important news, as Semazar is definitely offside there, is that it is Bulls FC Academy leading Hills United by a goal to nil in the match of the round for NPL Women's New South Wales Round 1. Hogan, another of Hills' new signings, formerly of Sydney Uni, now Kasha. And Kasha, I think, runs into Melli, who's with the good tackle there. Space in the centre circle for Hogarth Scott. And Hogarth Scott thought about keeping the tempo up, but instead a couple of sideways passes for Bulls as they look to control things. 32 minutes played or thereabouts. There's Ferris now. And Valletta. To Naimi. And Naimi will chase this with Johns in defending. And Naimi, did she get past? She has won the corner. So that's corner number 6 for Marty Garces's side. Now, where's it? Oh, this will not be Valletta this time. I think Naimi is just going to take over and take the kick from the flag herself on the side nearest to us.
You're going to see the corner from the other side here. Let's see if they can make more of this corner. They haven't been able to make the most of their corners yet.
But, you know, they do have some good aerial players. Naimi swings it in. Keeper stays on a line. And that, I think, is off Davidson. And Iro quick enough to prevent another corner. Iro looks up. Aims for Semazar. So the 2-14s battling. Henneberry's won that particular duel. Now Hogarth Scott. And as Bulls keep it moving. Naimi getting plenty of touches.
Yeah, the Bulls have got plenty of room at the back here just to pass it around and wait for the right pass to open up.
Yeah. And so, of course, that is the privilege of having the lead. You can often be a bit more patient. Someone's lost a shin pad, by the way. That always makes me anxious. So I'll wait to see who that player is who's momentarily missing a piece of equipment. I think it's Phillips. Yeah, it's Petria Phillips, but that's good. It's all... Everything's okay. And Phillips now adhering 100% with the laws of the game as Simonson gets a touch. And now a bit heavy one of Melly. So Surjan's got to be quick and keeps it with the team in black. And Naimi. Valletta again trying to add something in an attacking sense, but it was a great tackle from Johns. And then the 2-on-1 there. Bulls knowing that Semazar very much a danger player for Hills United. Many goals last season. I was actually the commentator for her, scoring 5 times in one match last season. Hills United defeating Sutherland by 8-0 that time at Harry Denning Centre. But so it doesn't work out for Tavares, and now lots of space for Hogarth Scott. And now, great positioning from Davidson. Davidson also with a hybrid slide tackle clearance there, just to keep it safe. And then Simonson returns the favour, booms it into Hills territory. And Naimi will not keep that in. That's great, Emily. I'm just thinking of, I mean, it does make me feel old, but you think you got Junior Matilda out there, Chelsea Harper, Vanderlaan was at Wanderers Academy last year, other players. I mean, it's not like for Hills, Kasha and... It's not for Hills, it's not like Kasha and Tavares are old by any means, so it's just great. You're seeing all this emerging talent in the league, and, you know, as we have a stoppage, injury to a Hills United player.
Yeah, we've just got Semazar down here.
Yep.
Not too sure what's happened there. I think it's just a little bit of a collision off the ball.
Yes.
She's not looking the best.
Yep. So hopefully it's nothing that will take Ellen Semazar out of the game. And as this is a chance for drinks breaks. I mean, there's already in one sense there's already too much water here at Valentine Sports Park, but it is it's important to remain hydrated nonetheless.
Sure, it's a great break for the players though.
Yes.
It just looks like she's a little bit winded here.
Yeah,
it doesn't look
okay.
anything too serious.
Yes. Yep. I agree. And as the team's actually, this is almost like a unofficial cooling break or hydration break, whatever. Well, definitely, I mean, we don't need a cooling break today. Just going to make that clear. But almost also a chance for coaches to give instructions. I saw Alan Tassis. He was having a quick chat with Grace Johns. Also Paul Tassis, Alan's son, having a chat with Olivia Sloan about basically imparting their wisdom on what they've seen in the opening 37 minutes or so. 37 minutes which has seen defending NPL New South Wales Women's Premiers and Champions Bulls FC Academy leading courtesy of a goal from Claudia Valletta set up by Chelsea Harper. But we're back underway.
Yeah, both coaches there giving their team some advice. Obviously, they've both seen things from the bench that they want to implement. And they're giving that advice back to their players in that short stoppage that we had. Also, given this weather, Marty Garces is just out there in possibly slight drizzle wearing just a shirt. Well, it's a braver person than myself, that's for sure. As Simonson
beats the press, and now, well, bit awkward for Surjan, but she keeps the ball under control, finds Henneberry. Now, Hills, have they won it? It's Surjan doing kind of more unsung hero work, if that makes sense, protecting the back four for Bulls. As Ferris looks up, that will run through to Naimi.
Yeah, and they've got room in the middle here again. And
Now that's Melly, I think.
Yeah, just going to go out to Mel. He's going to cross it into the middle. Hasn't made it there to Vanderland.
Yes, and Davidson taking the initiative there.
Sijan's just able to reset there.
Melly can't find the player down the line. Runner was Harper, and Bulls will have a throw-in. Aimed at Harper. It's Sloan defending, keeping herself very tight. Garrett got the toe in there, still runs to Naimi. Garrett with the toe in again. Now it's out wide. Buchanan tried to release. I think that was Kasha, but Valletta was been a real standout in the first half, and not just because of the goal. Valletta looking for Naimi. She'll try to run onto it, but it is across. And plays the ball to safety, so approaching half-time.
Yeah, Davidson's just had to clear it out quite a few times here. She's just going for the safety of the touch line, letting her team reset. We're going to have another throw-in from Valletta here.
And Naimi. Naimi bouncing it between herself and Valletta. Valletta, quick turn, crosses left-footed, keepers up, but it's Davidson defending. It needs more defending, and it's Sloan heading it behind for corner number 7 for Bulls.
Sloan's just put it out there.
And thrown down the line. Good tackle from Valletta. Now, Anemi might have got better of Johns and will go on here as there's some room near side. Naomi passed a couple of tackles before Tavares puts an end to that.
Yeah, she just saw some room open up there and she's just taken it, going into the middle, looking for the shot, but just unable to get it off there.
But here's Davidson finding herself near the touchline. Down the line, Semazar will chase once more, but it's 1-on-2, actually 1-on-3, because there's the sweeper keeper work there from Simonson. A little lob, taken down well by Ferris. And then Surjan working it back. The keeper can have a bit more of a less stressful touch. 44th minute here at Valentine Sports Park. As that will find Valletta. And Valletta to Naimi, and once again, Davidson is across to prevent any more Bulls forward progress. Now, quick passing from Bulls, but not with the precision required, and it's cleared by Hills. Ferris over her shoulder, and just got to make sure. Yep, Semazar will get up. She put in a lot of effort in this first half, and she wasn't prepared to chase that, to give up on that cause. But Bulls throw coming up courtesy of Claudia Valletta.
Yeah, Semazar has put in a lot of running today. She's been that sole striker up the top. No rewards yet, but the pressure's definitely been working. They have made a few mistakes in that back midfield part, but Bulls have ultimately had good control.
And there we go. There's Charlotte Hogan, who has drawn the ire of the referee, so to speak. Don't see a card coming out, but Hogan ruled to be a bit too physical in the challenge on Patria Phillips.
Yeah, I think that's just a little bit of a midfield battle there. Both players going for the ball, but Phillips has been judged to come out better off there and has won the foul for her team. We're going to have Gemma Ferris take this here. It's from a good position. She's got a good foot on her to cross her in here.
Yep, so Gemma Ferris, what does she do? It's a little clip towards the far post and not really dealt with here, so the second effort from Garrett required to clear the ball. And in fact, that will be the end of that. And actually, as Ellen Semazar might need some more treatment, but the halftime whistle has been blown, and it is Bulls FC Academy with the advantage as the teams head to the dressing sheds. It was Claudia Valletta, one of the goal-scoring heroes from last year's grand final, who had scoring for Bulls off a lovely cross from Bulls debutant Chelsea Harper, and that's how we got to where we are. Score is Hills United 0, Bulls FC Academy 1. And before we take a quick break, Emily, kind of who's impressed you in this first half? Which players, like which individuals?
In this first half, yeah. I think for me, Semazar up the top for Hills.
Yep.
She hasn't got too much help or chances up there, but she's kept running this whole game and she's kept putting it in. As for the Bulls, I think, of course, we've got to have the goal scorer, Claudia Valletta. She's put in some absolutely amazing runs, and I think we can see from her performance she's come back right where she left off from last season's grand final.
Yes, so it's time for us to take a short break, about 10 minutes or so, but we'll be back to cover the second half of this NPL Women's New South Wales Match of the Round for round one. Hope you're enjoying our coverage, and see you soon. Twice in one day. Why isn't it working? Because you've turned the levels all the way down. That's why. Good one. Da, da. Hey, Colin. Yep, okay, so I mean, I'm actually hooked in right now. So, and just getting. Yeah.
More of it?
And thankfully it's glad. I mean, not as glad as the photographer Joseph, but I'm glad it's not raining for now. For now. Oh.
Yeah.
This is
As soon as you say that, it's going to start raining.
Yeah, the lights on they're trying to turn on the lights in the stand. Oh. Yep. Yes. Okay. That's coming through. Good. Good. I don't know. Don't know what the dropouts were, but I'll keep trying. I don't know what I can do from my end, but yeah. Okay. Okay, no worries. So I might just we're back for the second half of this round one NPL Women's New South Wales clash from Valentine Sports Park, our opening match of the round for 2026. And it's a case of so far, so good for Bulls FC Academy, leading by 1-0 over newly promoted Hills United, courtesy of Claudia Valletta. Joined in commentary by Emily Arnold. Hope you're enjoying your Football New South Wales commentary debut. And, you're getting all the experiences in your first game, battling the weather, as there's the whistle. Away we go for the second period here in Glenwood. And as Valletta heads it out, you got your first taste of a halftime interview as well.
Yeah, definitely been a fun day here. A lot of new experiences, and I'm just super pumped to be here and to get to experience this all.
Yes, and I hope, as if you see those interviews, by the way, I am holding the camera and walking backwards. So if you're checking it out on the NPL New South Wales official socials, hope my camera work was okay. And thanks once again to Iko Ahode Aramoto for his great work presenting today, as it's an early Bulls attack down the left-hand side, which they did. I'd say that there was some good stuff, Emily, down the left-hand side of the Bulls first half, although it is worth noting the goal did come from their right.
Yeah, I think that is worth noting, but I think on that left side you've got Claudia Valletta, and she's been playing well, obviously scored the goal, but you've...
Yes, as that's played into the middle. Vanderlaan battling away from it, and then Harper can't really make the telling pass. That header falls Buchanan's way, and Buchanan looking for Semazar, but I think that's Ferris just marshalling the ball out of play. And now, I must say, the thought did occur to me as the Hills under 23 players walk back with some food. But the one thing we haven't seen so far, well, not yet anyway, is like somebody walking in front of us with frangos, because the great Valentine Sports Park staple and famous chain that's nearby to here, and not yet, I suppose, as toe in there from Hogarth Scott and Valletta. I think the momentum was going to take her over the line, so she decided to take the ball over the line with her. Hills attacking throw-in coming up though, and it's aimed towards Johns. Now Semazar, but that's a great turn, almost inside her own box by Naimi. Vanderlaan doubled up there by Hills, and then Vanderlaan has committed the infringement. So Hills set piece about 40 yards out from goal, slight angle, and actually we got to do some bit of admin at halftime. Thanks to Teo Pellizzeri tuning in. My first mistake of the women's season didn't really take that long, but yes, thanks to Teo for pointing out Grace Johns out there is actually a namesake of former Institute player Gracie Johns, but this particular Grace Johns was at Bulls last season, and before that Canterbury United in New Zealand. So there we go. I suppose both right backs, but there we go. Thanks, Teo, and of course thanks for your support and your continued support of our commentary team. As about 3 in the wall, I think, set by Simonson, and here's the delivery clipped in. It's going to be over Buchanan. And then it's Galliani retrieving Sloan further back. Play sides the keeper. Sloan sends it long. Semazar trying to help it on for Kasha. And Kasha. Now, I said ball behind Buchanan. Naimi back. Kind of not where she does her best work, but still tidy nonetheless. Hogarth Scott loses out. Buchanan. Kasha. But it's a strong tackle from Sojan once again. Now, well, actually, the pressure shout coming from the crowd. I think that was Marty Garces. Instead of any of the players alerting Patria Phillips to the pressure, and Phillips has won the free kick. So, actually, as I see off camera, and it's a quick free kick played, but Brooke Hasty, one of the Hill subs, getting some instructions. We might see Hills number 6 before too long, as that is going to be too straight from a Bulls perspective, and it's straight at Maddie Iro. All right, so now there's 2 Kiwis on the field, Maddie Iro and Grace Johns. Now, good to know that. And big shout out to anyone tuning in from New Zealand. As Semazar, Grace Johns. And Johns getting decently far up the pitch, leaves it for Buchanan. And that will be sent over the sideline by Henneberry.
Yeah, to start this second half, Hills have taken more of the ball. They were getting pushed off it quite a bit in the first half, but they're stringing some passes together and getting them some possession up. They're looking for that goal, and they're looking to get back in this.
Okay, now That's Johns down the line, but not quite on the same wavelength as anyone else wearing yellow now. And we'll still be with Hills United. And as that's played in, defensive header I think from Naimi, and now Vanderlaan can't settle it. Another Hills throw. Now, I think Tavares was the closest to that, but a bit of head tennis coming up. Hogan's in there. Naimi, though, for Bulls. Over Phillips. Good anticipation from Harper. Can she turn the defender? Chelsea Harper and 3 of her teammates with her, but the interception there is from Kasha. There's a cheer on field number 3. Someone scored in Girls Youth League. For what it's worth, it's between Northern Tigers and Gladesville Ravens. As now, let's work back into a bit of a loose touch for Ferris, and now Kasha could have options, but it was broken up by Surjan. Hogan tries to head it as far as she can, and now Melly will settle it, and that's a bit of an easier one for Ferris. By the way, Zoe Murdoch also warming up for Hills United. And now out on the far side. Throw in it to Bulls coming up. It's Valletta. Naimi, I don't think she got the flick she wanted, so here's Davidson, and that'll go over the sideline.
Yeah, just slowly moving it up the line there. The Bulls with a series of throw-ins on that far side. They're just going to take their time and try get this right here.
Hergoff Scott can't turn because it was Tavares with a foot in there, but it's gone back to Valletta for Bulls. Naimi stayed on side. Naimi, very little space, but Naimi, tricky customer nonetheless. Tries to play centrally is Phillips, and Phillips blocked at the near post by Davidson. Now, I think that's Henneberry. Strong header, but now, well, Galliani's tried to take the initiative there. Melly. Now, inadvertent flick on. This might work out for Bulls, and there's a shot. It's blocked by Garrett, and then Iro takes over to calm things down for Hills. 53rd minute here or thereabouts at Valentine Sports Park. Hills United 0, Bulls FC Academy 1. And Eric Subihana calling for Football New South Wales YouTube page alongside Emily Arnold. As that's a nice ball from Valletta. I think that's Phillips who's found some space. Phillips going direct, but too direct, and straight at Iro. Quick throw. Hills trying to keep the tempo up. Galliani under pressure from Melly. Galliani trying to run round, so it's going to be a race, and Melly has won the race. And a couple of assured passes from the team in black. They start their laces move as Vanderlaan potentially getting away for a little bit of a short pull on Garrett, but everything's okay.
Yeah,
hold up play from Vanderlaan, by the way. Go on.
I think a little bit of pulling from both players there.
Got
to get in the spirit of the game, I guess. Get a little rough and physical. As it's just a loose pass there.
And Hogan. Now Semazar, 1-2 off Surjan, if anything, to Johns. And now Buchanan. Hills probing. Now Davidson. Kasha was allowed to bring it down. Kasha, so he brought a teammate into play. Tavares trying to make an impact. So is Galliani. Galliani, clip ball, but Ferris has got the jump. Now, I mean, for those of you who do and believe in omens, it's important to note it's coincidentally, and Hills United played their first ever game as a women's first grade outfit back in February 2022. Their opponent, the Bulls. And Bulls also scored first on that very warm evening at Gabby Stadium, or Landon Stadium, however you want to call it, as Garrett plays the ball to Galliani, and now Semazar stopped by Surjan. And Bulls did score on that game in February 2022, but Hills United eventually won by 2-1. And as Sloan plays it back to Iro, also worth noting, Hills have three veterans from their historic first game in women's Football New South Wales first grade. Wow, 4 years ago. Now, can you believe that? That would be Captain Aisling Davidson, plus Bianca Gallieni, and on one of the substitutes today, Ellen Barrios. Johns, tidy work in defence. Buchanan turns sharply. Semazar. Now Semazar, and gone left. Gallieni has a little bit of space. Sloane's already moving forward on the overlap. And the ball will be a bit awkward, but nothing to trouble Valletta too much. Vandelar, now this time the battle is with Davidson. And it's Naimi, I think. Ferris, and that she really zips it to Jasmine Melly. Hogarth's got a bit of room. Blocked by Hills, and the rebound on. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, you saw that straight away. Emily Vanderlaan blocking the shot from Naimi as the follow-up is wide from Sojan. Sometimes that's just what happens.
Yeah, that's just football sometimes. Some unfortunate blocks off their own players there. But it's going to give it's going to give Hills United the chance to start from the back.
Yeah, and it's gone out inside the Bulls' technical area. In fact, we're going to see a substitution. Arden Sojan, actually, you know what, a productive shift, 56 minutes or so in central midfield for the Bulls. And she is replaced by number 7, Sophia Furia. And I'll keep an eye on that, but might be a straight swap because Furia looking to be the deepest player in midfield, or one of the deeper players in midfield for Bulls.
Yeah, that's...
Actually, no, I'm wrong immediately. She's gone out wide. So let's see how Marty Garces has chosen to reshuffle this.
But yeah, again, as you said, Sajan coming off, welcoming her welcome appearance back to the Bulls. Of course, she played last season at Wanderers, but she was a Bulls junior, so she's put in a good shift here.
Yes, she has. In fact, it looks like, at least for the time being, Chelsea Harper has gone from out wide to a bit more centrally for Bulls, and that's what has given the space for Sophia Furia, at least initially, to play out wide for the team that's leading by a goal to nil. So, approaching the hour mark, we will see. We're going to have to keep on our toes, Emily, because this is about the time of game when the subs are going to start flying in, and that will fly out of play.
Yeah, I think especially first game back, we're going to have some tired legs out there, so I think we'll be seeing a lot of changes early on in this game.
Yeah, and perhaps a bit of a reminder, might as well do this, just in case you missed me going through the subs during the first half for Bulls. Okay, so the players that Marty Garces could still bring on later with their 2 remaining sub windows. It's Sienna Hawkins, Asha Franklin, Zoe Noakes, Laura Ericello, and the backup keeper Ashley Hughes. Hills yet to make a sub, although I suspect that's going to change quite promptly. So we could see Libby Morris, Neve Burns, Zoe Murdoch, Ellen Barrios, Brooke Hasty, Victoria Martin, or and the backup keeper is Nicola Simmons.
Hills are just going to have a throw here, deep in their own half. Sloane taking the throw here.
And Sloane down the line, headed up by Melly. Contested header won by Hogan. And that will run for Kasha. Now there's room for Buchanan. And 2 players with her, looking for ball centrally, and Ferris has anticipated it well. Now, quick give and go. And it's a quick passing, beating the initial part of the Hills press. Direct to Vanderlaan. They've liked that target, and Vanderlaan usually makes the ball stick. Vanderlaan gets it back. Trying to get away from Garrett. He stuck to the task well. Now Valletta and Ferris. Nothing in front of her. Goes back. They start again with Simonson.
Yeah, got the pressure there from Cesar. She's not giving up. She's looking for that first goal of this NPL season.
Nice. Now the ball, and Melly kept it in, according to the assistant nearest to us, but her forward progress immediately stopped by Olivia Sloane. Now is Hogan, got to be quick, and does find Kasha. Bit of room in the center circle. No, not for long, because it's a strong tackle from Harper. And could be a chance, could work out for the Bulls here. Options either side, or she'll try and go direct, and Maddie Iro saw the intentions. I think the little look up from Petria Phillips, good idea though it was enough for Maddie Iro to start backpedaling, and in the end, a comfortable enough save.
Yeah, Phillips there has just seen her slightly off her line and thought she'd take the shot, but Maddie Iro has got that covered all day.
Yeah, Phillips again, and Sloan moving across, gets the foot in. Phillips, and this might be promising for the Bulls, but it's Galliani helping out the defenders. Back to the keeper. Iro, it's over Sloan's head. So that, there'll be a Bulls throw. And Melly, and the Bulls definitely not sitting on the 1-goal lead, and keeping the tempo up as they push for a second. Strong tackle there from Galliani. Now, it's Kasha defending against the new player, Faria. Faria couldn't make it work there as Sloan moves, and Faria chasing back. Inside to Tavares, and Tavares immediately runs into Phillips. Breaks for Harper, and Harper, now there's room. Left-hand side for Naimi. Naimi looks up and crosses. It's a floaty one, and it's actually allowed to bounce by both teams. So Galliani retrieves it beyond the far post and plays it over the sideline. Melly. And that's going to be off Hogan, and I make that corner number 8 for Bulls today. And past the hour mark here at Football New South Wales headquarters. The score is currently Hills United 0, Bulls FC Academy 1, with Claudia Valletta scoring the first goal of the Bulls FC women's season as they try to defend the Premiership and Championship titles that they won last year. Now, Valletta signals again. And Valletta, it's very close to Ira and too close from a Bulls perspective. Easy catch.
Yeah, an easy one there for Ira. She'll just take the time to send her team up the pitch here.
Nice. Now it's allowed to bounce, and then the two number 14s, Henneberry and Semmers, are battling again. Henneberry works it back, and Melly will just play it forward as it rolls out. And got seen in front of us off frame, Marty Garces. Actually, it's like Marty Garces adopting the pose of that statue, the thinker, for the time being in the Bulls technical area, while Alan and Paul Tassis having a discussion about how they can get their team back into the game. Now Kasha, a bit of a loose touch, but Bulls facing their own goal line, and Ferris decides not to take any risks. Throw in, I think that's Buchanan, and strong header at the near post by Valletta. Now there's some room, Bulls trying to counter here. And Phillips, I think a little bit disguised on the pass to find Faria. Now Vanderlaan is out wide. Davidson follows her. Vanderlaan. I'm sorry, Naeem, apologies. Blocked by Buchanan, but second go at it coming up. Direct, and the header from Harper will be well wide of the goal, but to be fair to Chelsea Harper, not a lot she could have done with a header from pretty much the edge of the box. So I suppose time to be a good company man. And of course, remind everyone that keep an eye out on the NPL New South Wales _official socials, not just for Emily's expert interviews and Iko Ehori Aramoto's presenting on the socials, but also coming tomorrow, the NPL Women's New South Wales Team of the Week, compiled by 321 votes from the Football New South Wales media. Always fascinating to see who gets into that team, as Faria, a bit of a loose touch, which allows Garrett to clear. Now, Valletta, well, Valletta perhaps. It's always, don't you find it amazing how shoelaces are more likely to be untied when your team's winning 1-0? Experienced
Yes.
work there. Expert work from Claudia Valletta. This is not a criticism by any way. No.
Does tend to happen quite a bit now that you say that, though. You
Yes.
don't see it much when you're down 1-0, though.
Now,
She's just going to take her time again here.
Yes. Reminds me of what us years and years ago at a Blacktown City home game with Blacktown City defending a 1-goal lead in second half stoppage time. I remember a spectator yelling, "Mate, your shoelace is untied, and if it's not, it should be." So, yes.
Spectators trying to help out
Yes.
there.
Phillips shows for the throw. Now Valletta. And tackle from Sloan. Bulls, this is where they want it. They are continuing to show more of the attacking initiative in this game, but of course, plenty of football left to be played. We're in the 66th minute here at Valentine Sports Park. Bulls looking to make it 2-0. Sharp turn from Phillips. Now Naimi, the touch takes her backwards. Now Hills close the space, clean tackle from Semazar, but of course Semazar had gone back, and as she's the centre forward, that meant no one was forward for Hills. So Ferris, a bit of a breakdown in communication between her and Daniela Naimi, and there we go. Double substitution coming up, so we are going to see for Hills number 5 Victoria Martin and number 12 Zoe Murdoch. So who's stepped away? Let's see. I mean, specifically as a commentator, the bane of my existence, subs can leave from anywhere now. So who has gone off? It appears to be the players making way are number 15. Up for Hills, players making way number 15 Tamsin Buchanan and number 39 Grace Johns. So this would mean it does look like first touch on the ball for Zoe Murdoch. And Zoe Murdoch appears to be the replacement at right back for Grace Johns, while Victoria Martin is the replacement at right wing for Tamsin Buchanan. So there we go. Continuing that theme of former spirit, there is a lot of them out there.
Yeah, I think that's definitely also a tactical one there. Obviously on that side, they've been up against Valletta and me this half.
Yeah.
2 players strong, and Bulls have been using that side a lot. So.
Yes. And speaking of, here's Naimi with Valletta on the overlap. Naimi cuts inside and shoots. It's off Murdoch, I think. So Murdoch with good forward defence there. And now, Henneberry almost ran under the ball too much, but trying to recover it. Semazar eventually brings it under her control. Hogan, and that's got way too much chili sauce on that, so it goes through to Simonson. 68th minute here, Hills United 0, Bulls FC Academy 1. Hope you're enjoying the NPL Women's New South Wales match of the round for round 1. Yes.
Yeah, unfortunate one there. Hills had a few players forwards, but just been hit up to the keeper, unfortunately. Not being able to make the most of that.
Murdoch again with the defensive block there, heading it out for a throw. Valletta aims for Vanderlaan, followed all the way by Davidson. Back to Hogarth's got tidy work, keeping it with the visitors. And here's Henneberry. Now, Faria, I think that was, back in Valletta, who's actually, at least for the time being, switched sides. And as that will get away from Harper, and Garrett is going to do what every central defender I've ever met loves doing, shepherding it over the line for a goal kick. So, Emily, you see wingers swap all the time. I mean, Naimi and Harper did it in the first half of Bulls, but we've just seen the fullbacks have swapped sides. So Valletta was on the left, Melly was on the right, but now it's the other way around for Bulls.
Yeah, I think that could definitely be either the change, something that they've pointed out in practice with Victoria Martin coming on, or it could be they're trying to take advantage of the players on this side.
As Melly to the near post, Harper doesn't work it back to a teammate. Now it's cleared. So Hills double sub coming up. No double sub. But that 2 players are walking with intent to start their warm-up. So they're going to hazard a guess that the next 2 players to come on for Bulls will be Brooke Hasty and Ellen Berrios. 2 long-time Hills United players. And actually as Bulls are on the attack, that's behind Valletta, but it'll be retrieved by Faria. And that, well, Valletta she's fast, but perhaps as the legs start to tire, Valletta has done a lot of running, and to be fair, she was actually never going to catch that ball anyway. But yeah, back to those two Hills players I mentioned. Brooke Hasty, good player to bring off the bench. And over the last few years, Hasty's developed a very successful central defensive partnership in League One Women's alongside Aisling Davidson. As there's the cross out to Faria, and Davidson right on cue there to head it away. Tavares and kind of bundles it forward. Ferris, awkward bounce, so plays it safe. Hogan for Hills, and Henneberry hears the shout of the keeper, and Henneberry back to Simonson. By the way, what does seem like if they're not former Spirit players, they're former Manly players. Henneberry and Simonson being two of them. But it's Murdoch back to her keeper, Maddie Iro.
Yeah, I think that's with any new season. We do see a lot of change between the teams.
Yes, and now Phillips for the initiative, and then I think we're going to see the first card of the game, and it's gone to Charlotte Hogan, just dragging back Phillips as Phillips tried to start what would have been a dangerous-looking counterattack. Possibly, how do we put this? Hogan taking one for the team there.
Yeah, definitely a tactical foul there. She got around her, and she didn't. She only had one defender as cover. Phillips was on a good run there, and I think it's a good foul to take there. Not too much danger, and it gives them a chance to reset.
Yes. Now. It'd be a spectacular one if it goes direct in, or will it be a cross? Or it's a shot from Ferris, and it's simple for Maddie Iro. Now, at least there is, as I do like to go around the grounds, Maddie Iro goes long. There is some good news for the broader Hills United family, as Martin has one which should be easy for Henneberry to deal with, although Semazar is providing the pressure. And Simonson lobs it up. Now, as it drops for Hogan. Now, Martin, fresh player off the bench for Hills. Back to Davidson. And then Davidson might have lost out to Vanderlaan here. And now Faria finding Vanderlaan. Blocked by Garrett and out. But yes, the good news I mentioned for the Hills United family. So they're actually the first grade men's team in action in the same. Also in Blacktown LGA. And Hills United have defeated Prospect United by 3-2. I think that's at Spartan Park with Prospect using the Spartans ground for their senior men's home games. Now, as Murdoch is under pressure and plays it over the sideline, both her and Faria take a tumble. In fact, a foul called against Sophia Faria. And for what it's worth, got to keep it balanced. So, yes, the Bulls FC Academy men's team, also successful this weekend. They won away to Hirschville Zagreb 4-2 at Penshurst Park on Friday night. Davidson goes long, and now it's Murdoch who takes a little bit of an unfortunate stumble. Now Vanderlaan, not enough juice on the pass. Now Ira's got a scramble and slips as she clears it, and that could have been unfortunate if it went to a Bulls player, but it does roll over the touchline. 74th minute here at Valentine Sports Park. Hills United 0, Bulls FC Academy 1. Eric Subihano calling for Football New South Wales alongside Emily Arnold.
Just seeing some of those wet conditions come through there was a little slip from the keeper.
Yes.
It has been raining quite heavily here. We haven't had it too bad in this game, but still seeing the ramifications from earlier.
Yes, and of course, I mean, it hasn't stopped raining, but it's not exactly warm here, Emily. This pitch is not going to dry in a hurry. So, yes, would still be quite slippery underneath.
Yeah, the rain has stopped for us this game, but it's still the wetness of the pitch is definitely still there.
Yes, and I think
got 2 balls on the pitch.
Bit of multi-ball, but we can't have that. As I think I do see our photographer friend Joseph Bidengun behind the goal to our right, and he's got a very nice, well-placed umbrella to protect him and his lens, and what I assume is an incredibly expensive lens, as he takes photographs. And keep an eye out on the NPL New South Wales socials, the Facebook and the Instagram page. Those photos will be available in the next few days. In fact, Iko Hode Aramoto taking some Instagram footage for our socials, also behind the goal to are right as we speak. And again, the decision goes against Valletta, so Hill's free kick just inside opposition territory. Now, actually, as I think, looking at the Hills players warming up off screen, of course, talked about Brooke Hasty earlier, but Ellen Barrios, if you are a longer time League One women's watcher, you may remember Ellen Barrios actually on this very ground, at the end that Hills are attacking, scored the goal that sealed promotion for Hills last year in a dramatic, what would be a dramatic 4-2 win for Hills against Central Coast Mariners. And the game, the story's too long to go into now, but it started on Sunday evening and it finished on Tuesday night. Anyway, yes.
A story for another time.
Yes,
there.
yes.
As we're just going to see a throw in here from Vic Martin.
Now, that's Kasha. It's looped up with Faria trying to get involved for Bulls and Murdoch. Back to Hogan. And now it runs away from Kasha. So now it's with Bulls and with Hogarth Scott. Vanderline, again, always like the way she's operating in terms of showing for the ball and providing that quick option when Bulls have it in deeper positions. But that was unfortunate at that time. Naomi charging into space, but the ball too far in front of her as we're into the final quarter of an hour.
Yeah, I think Olivia Vanderland is one of those strikers that is able to come back and collect the ball for you. She's a very physical player and she's able to bring that ball forward as well as bring the goals.
Now, Iro and off one bounce and off Kasha's head. It then works out for Jasmine Melly. Now Harper, I think it was, leaving it for Melly. That's good work. And now space for Naimi. Cross from the right and Davidson in the way.
Yeah, good block there from Davidson. Bulls had players streaming into the centre there.
Yeah.
I think we're starting to see a few tired legs from the Hills, obviously, as we're getting towards the last 10 minutes. It is obviously first game of the season.
Yeah. Now, of course, I mean, and the important to note, especially with a 26-round season plus finals for the lucky teams who make it. I'll go back to that thought as Phillips has room and goes left towards Faria. Faria has the cross blocked, and that's a good defensive block from Murdoch. But yes, it's not just that teams aren't peak fitness at round one. You wouldn't want them to be at peak fitness now, because they will fade out at some point in the next 25 rounds. So, once again, I'm grateful to be on the same side as the technical areas because I can more easily see what's happening, and it's a job well done for Chelsea Harper on her Bulls FC Academy debut as she makes way for Bulls to be replaced by number 3, Sienna Hawkins. Oh, look at that. She's wearing a Spirit jersey in a dribble profile photo. And the double sub for Hills, it is, as I had alluded to, Brooke Hasty and Ellen Barrios on, Bianca Galliini and Charlotte Hogan making way, and I think the Charlotte Hogan yellow card probably a factor in the decision to sub her, because I think she has actually played quite well on her Hills United debut.
Yeah, the only player out there with a yellow card, I believe.
Yep, that's correct.
So yeah, probably just a safety one there. She has had a great game today, so definitely keeping her safe. Don't want any unfortunate second yellows.
Yes. So Barrios is now up top, centre forward for Hills. A bit of a reshuffle. Ellen Semazar at a role now, kind of an attacking midfielder, a role she can play very well. We saw that last year for Hills. And Brooke Hasty is resuming that familiar central defensive partnership for Hills alongside Aisling Davidson. Zoe Murdoch has moved into midfield, kind of the more defensive midfielder now that Charlotte Hogan has been subbed. So Zoe Murdoch showing her versatility in this short cameo, playing right back and a defensive midfield. She can also play centre back, and of course she can play cricket very well. So yeah.
Yeah, very versatile player there.
Yes.
As is always helpful for any coach to have on their team. She can slot into any position.
Yes, yeah, and of course, it is a squad game, and your squad is helped when you got players with the versatility to play in different roles. More head tennis, and Tavares can't force it through as Ferris trying to start an attack, and after that, nice pass by Phillips, and then that's unfortunate for Naimi. Just eluding her. Just a little, a big skip off the pitch, if that makes sense.
Yeah, just unfortunately not much she can do there to keep that one in. But she's got it back here. She's just going to let it out, go out for a throw-in.
Indeed. And as that is the short for 2 Hawkins and 2 subs going head-to-head. Hasty was having none of that and has sent that possibly into the area fenced off because the pitch behind us is also a Women's Asian Cup training site. Now short throw to Vanderlaan. And then Hills might have won it back, but Valletta, more great play from Valletta. As that is Henneberry now. The 2-on-1 might work for Hills, so Berrios passed too far in front of Tavares. And we're into the final 10 minutes here, and the floodlights are on. Yes. Yes, the floodlights are on, but can anyone put their name in lights for Hills and find what would be quite dramatic equaliser in their first NPL Women's New South Wales game, as that is easily taken by Nicole Simonson. So, Valletta, and Sloan has read that like the Hillshire Times and keeps it away from Valletta. Sloan, then Valletta back in position. Sloan settles for the throw-in.
The Hills have done well to keep themselves in the match here, obviously in the 81st minute now, and
Echo might break out for Victoria Martin. Martin with a low cross. Here's Berrios with a chance, and it's in for Ellen Berrios, and Hills have found that equaliser, and it's 2 substitutes combining. There was a crossfield ball which did make its way to Victoria Martin. Berrios got away from the defence and has rolled it into the bottom corner, and we have got a late goal. Hills United have found an equaliser.
Yeah, those fresh legs working out for Hills. As we were saying, they were able to keep themselves in the game, and they've levelled it up here at 1-1 in the 82nd minute.
Oh, there you go. And as I did say, Bulls were looking quite good, but there was, and still is, a lot of football left to be played. The subs cooked up by what I like to call Team Tassis, head coach Allen and his son Paul, assisting, has created an equaliser, and Ellen Berrios, who scored the goal that ended up clinching promotion for Hills last year, has another historic goal for Hills United. Their first goal in NPL Women's New South Wales.
Yeah, after that goal, Hills are looking hungry. They're wanting to go on and win this. They're not going to back down and settle for this draw here.
Now through to Phillips. Centre circle tracked by Murdoch. Now this really does liven it up, Emily. And Bulls, haven't become shy because of conceding the goal, because it's Naimi on the move, runs straight into Sloan. That's great fullback work as Garrett clips it. Tavares under pressure from Valletta.
Yeah, you've got both teams here that are definitely going to go for the win, and I think we're going to see the game open up in these final minutes.
Now, it's opening up like that, and that could have been a dangerous through ball for Semazar. Was like a half yard too far in front of her. Vanderlaan again dropping deep, but can't find a teammate. Murdoch sticks a foot in there. Now, the bounce does not favour Tavares, so it's Bulls, and Vanderlaan stays out wide, and clean enough slide tackle from Sloan. Vanderlaan through ball. Sienna Hawkins will keep that in. Hawkins attacks into the box. It's Hawkins, and it's straight at Maddie Ira. Good positioning from the Hills debutante and Football Ferns debutante from 3 days ago.
Yeah, great run there from Sienna Hawkins, able to keep herself on side, and she created a excellent chance there. But Maddie Iro there, just a little too good.
Garrett. And if you do believe in omens, well, I did hint to it, at the same end of the ground where Ellen Berrios scored the promotion clinching goal. She's done it again, but Hills can't switch off. 84 minutes or thereabouts played here, and it is Davidson working it back. Now, given away by Iro, and then Hills making heavy weather of this, and there's numbers forward for Bulls. Faria. Now, some skills there, and now it's Vanderlaan. Vanderlaan shoots, and it's a great save from Maddie Ira, almost self-inflicted by Hills as they couldn't the ball out from their own defensive third. It's going to be, I think, Bulls' 9th corner of the game. And Vanderlaan, we know what she's like inside the box. Always seems to find space. She did, and she was denied by Maddie Iro. And corner coming up. Everyone back for Hills except Berrios. There's plenty of keen Bulls players waiting to get a touch in the 6-yard box. It's up and it's flicked away, possibly by Garrett. Now Ferris, and Valletta has to hurry. She does keep it in. And now Valletta again gets the cross in. Sloan, cool touch, and then finds the player out wide. I think that's Semazar. Berrios shows, followed by Melly. She holds it up, and now Berrios gets another touch. There are runners centrally, but it's a safer pass. Semazar, blocked by Ferris, and Gemma Ferris is a right winger, at least for the time being. Haven't seen that before, but...
Yeah, taking full advantage of being up the pitch there. Obviously, usually a centre back, as she has played this whole game.
Yes, now...
But I think as the pitch is opening up, all players are taking their chances.
And that will run out.
This is just going to give Bulls the chance to reset here, but I don't think either team is going to slow down. They're both wanting that goal. Bulls just looking for the right pass here. Don't want to waste this throw in.
Well, thanks for filling in for me while I took a drink. It's thirsty work to being a commentator, and well, Davidson was overlapping, but the ball pass was behind it. Davidson scurries, retrieves it, and then Bulls have I thought they'd won it back, but it does get eventually to Victoria Martin. Davidson, in fact, Davidson now playing it right back as part of some reshuffles due to second half subs for Hills, and Bulls again winning it in Hills territory.
Yeah, a lot of changeover in the midfield here. No teams had too many great chances, but we've got a lot of changeover, and both teams are looking to get their foot on the ball and get a good chance.
Hills throw after all that. So a quick recap, of course, in a competition that seems to always show a late drama, has done it again. In the 88th minute, it's currently Hills United 1, Bulls FC Academy 1. As Murdoch can't affect the tackle on Vanderlaan. And Vanderlaan brings in Faria. Faria has the cross blocked by Davidson. So Bulls now double figures in terms of corners. But yes, the recap. Bulls open the scoring in the first half, courtesy of Claudia Valletta, assisted well by Chelsea. But as we had just seen, two Hill substitutes fashioning an equaliser. Victoria Martin setting it up for Ellen Berrios. And now potentially another big moment as the ball is about to go into a crowded penalty area. It goes up, and Iro with a safe pair of hands. Now Iro wants her teammates to get up the field as quick as they can. And the ref, as per the new directives, is counting out the time before the keeper must release it. Iro does way more than release it into opposition territory. Berrios putting the pressure on as it's up by Melly. Davidson. Now Kasha, good skill and good composure to keep it. Garrett direct. Tavares with a flick and gets it back off the teammate. Supporting run now, left-hand side from Sloan. Sloan, she got the shout from a teammate, but tidy work, I think, from Hogarth Scott. And Hogarth Scott might be needed again. Sloan battling away. And a bit too much battle, according to the ref. Free kick, but that's...
Yeah, just a little too keen there with the pull, but she's going to get it back here.
And Semazar takes over as we see Libby Morris. And speaking of big goals, this is a bit... Actually, I'm really liking this signing for Hills United. Libby Morris is about to come on, and she... quite young, but actually scored the winning penalty in the 2024 NPL Women's New South Wales Grand Final when MacArthur Rams defeated RPL Leichhardt on penalties at Western Sydney Stadium. And I'm calling it Western Sydney Stadium, one, because I'm in Women's Asian Cup mode, but also because that sponsor ain't paying me, so I'm not going to say their name. Now, it is Libby Morris on, and I believe Libby Morris actually, despite being a former MacArthur Rams player, actually from a Hillshire local, and she replaces, I think it was Ellen Semazar, who gets some congratulations and heads to the bench. Now
Just the free kick there from the handball from the Bulls.
Yes.
But yeah, as you were saying, Libby Morris, a great player. She's got plenty of NPL experience at a young age,
Yes.
and I think definitely someone to look forward to in the future of this competition.
Yes. And not a bad futsal player either, Libby Morris. And my obligatory shout out to my mate Mel Keith, who has coached it feels like half the NPL women's comp in her coaching time at MacArthur Quake and Harcoa. And actually, I think other Mel Keith prodigies, that if that's a term, Liv Sloan, gone blank, but there was another one here on the field. As that makes its way to Ferris, it's up towards the box, headed away by Hasty. And then it's Murdoch preventing Vanderlaan from bringing it under control. So it's stoppage time, and Gemma Ferris caught in the act, removing some tape, but she's actually recovered well. The tape was still in the air when she controlled the ball. That's great work from Gemma Ferris.
Quite the skill there, multitasking.
Yes. So here's Sloan. Of course, for you younger fans, yes, no fourth official in this comp until finals, so no fourth official to indicate stoppage time. And this is where I'd be an old man and say, this is what all football before the 1998 Men's World Cup was like. You just had to guess how much time added on there was. And thankfully, I've got the stopwatch on my phone. Oh no, I don't. Anyway, as that might run through, that's a big and important lunge from Garrett. In fact, that is that. So Hills United have rescued a point in their first ever NPL Women's New South Wales game, their debut in the women's top tier for football in this state. It is a 1-1 draw between newly promoted Hills and Bulls FC Academy. It was Bulls who took the lead in the first half. A well-worked goal, Chelsea Harper, the junior Matilda, setting it up for Claudia Valletta. But in the final 10 minutes, some brilliant substitutions ensured Hills earned a share of the spoils, as it was Victoria Martin crossing, and the finish provided by a long-time Hills United player, Ellen Berrios. So, Emily Arnold, thank you so much for joining us, and well done on your Football New South Wales commentary debut. But,
Thank you.
Your thoughts on what we have just seen here today in Glenwood?
I think we had a good fight here from the Hills, obviously up against reigning premiers and champions from last season. It was never going to be an easy challenge, but they've come to this game and they've put up a challenge and they've come out with a draw. As for Bulls, I think it is that question of getting back into the swing of things. Obviously, they are looking to defend both of their titles, so they had a good performance today, but just unable to get the goals there.
Yes. So, well, we go. You can see defending champions being held by the newly promoted team. Well, NPN Women's New South Wales, such a competitive league, and we expect over both this round and the remaining 25 rounds. One last plug, keep an eye out for the NPL Women's New South Wales Team of the Week. That'll be posted on the official NPL New South Wales Facebook and Instagram pages and the Twitter page tomorrow, Monday. And I think that is that. So we've got to sign off because there is a Matildas versus South Korea game that we've all got to hurry and find a screen so we can watch. But on behalf of Football New South Wales, my co-commentator Emily Arnold, and the fellow Football New South Wales media Ika Ohore Aramoto, and Joseph Bidegan, the expert snapper, this is Eric Subihano signing off from Valentine Sports Park. We hope you enjoyed the match of the round in NPL Women's New South Wales for the opening weekend of the 2026 season. Take care, and we're on the Tillies in about half an hour's time. The final score here from Football New South Wales headquarters is Hills United 1, Bulls FC Academy 1. Good night.